folks. I'm going to talk about this very quick. I'm only going to respond to serious inquiries. Now, you see what the title says? If you ain't about the title, you will not get a response. Okay? Just out of respect. So I'm gonna be on for a few minutes. If you're serious about talking about this conversation, it's through chat only. I'm not taking any calls. I'm not making any phone calls. But I will do this. Anyway, this is live conversation only. Um, this is hi. Okay, hi. This is DJ Wolf, and of course the podcast is DJ Wolf Live on for all to hear TV on YouTube. Good morning. So, like I said, uh, serious inquiries only. You see the name, the title of this topic, my weight loss journey talk. That's pretty much what I'm going to talk about. I might delve into other topics, but we're going to try to stay on topic on this one. If you're not about talking about this outside of just saying hi, I don't want to talk to you. Serious inquiries only. I'm saying it again. Serious inquiries only. Anything beyond that, I will not discuss anything else with you beyond that unless I decide to change it. All right, let's go. So I went to the doctor this week. All right, and I felt very confident about what I was going to do. I have been in the gym for the last, I would say, few months. Before that, I was already losing the weight because I started by cutting back on eating. Matter of fact, I don't eat. I cut back on eating sugars, sodium. I've been real tight about my sodium content as well. Um, uh, I decided to go to the gym. I actually had been looking for to go back to the gym for a while. My first time, honestly, at a gym in 6 years. I hadn't really worked out. I hadn't really worked out really since I would say just after COVID. You know, when the COVID thing came around, I didn't go that much. You know, so and I'll be honest with you, I hadn't worked out in a long time. But I remember I had talked to my brother a while back, and he basically said, you know, hey, you'll bounce back. It'll be like you've been getting off a bike and ride back on again. All right. So he been really a workout holic on his body for decades, so he knows. And if anybody I take advice from is from my little brother. So anyway, um, and he was right. And my wife actually also decided to go on her own weight loss journey, and it's helped. And, I mean, she lost a little bit more weight than I did, and I was like, wow, she's doing really good, and I'm really proud of her. She says she's really proud of me. I'm proud of myself, actually, but I give it all to God. I'm being very honest. I give it all to God. You know, I pray, for my family's health. I pray for the health of people in the community and in our country and our world, man. All this mess going on is just some of it, really most of it is unnecessary, to be honest. I gotta say that. It's very unnecessary. But you know what it is? It's these folks who, you know, think they know people better than anybody else and they doing damage. Let me not talk about that because I can go all day on that. All right. But here's the thing. All right. There's been misnomers about Planet Fitness, this Planet Fitness, that. Planet Fitness, honestly, is what you make of it. You can actually get a couple of friends together, and if one of them, at least one or two, that work out a regular, and you see that they're doing what they need to do, they could probably help you lose the weight. But and I used to go to a Planet Fitness out here somewhere in Peachtree County. Actually, I might visit them there. I've been over here years, and that's where I started back about 2017, something like that. I had been going there. I was going like three, four, five. I was really going by like 5, 6 times a day. I take that back on. Not a day. I'm not tired. I was going like 5 to 6 times a week. And at the time, I had lost 60 pounds within 8 months, and it definitely showed. Now, ab wise, I didn't pay attention to it. My focus was to lose the weight. And then I was going to, the last 25 pounds, I was going to work on my abs. This time, I'm trying to do all of it, you know. But the main difference is I cut back. I literally cut back on eating all starchy foods, all sugars, or a lot of sugar. Matter of fact, pretty much 89 to 95% of sugars I don't even deal with anymore. All right. So I'll give you some advice, but like I said in my description, please consult your doctor before doing any exercise and diet regimen. I implore you to that. Matter of fact, you really should start with your doctor anyway, because that's how I started. Matter of fact, uh, when I went to my doctor's office a couple of days ago, and my doctor found out I lost another 8 9 pounds, he was elated. I never seen him react the way he did, and it almost made me cry because me and this doctor are the same age, and he know what it's like. So he's right in the fight with me, and I feel that he is because that's how elated he was when he found out I had lost that weight. And the other better news is he reduced my pressure pills by 5 milligrams. It was only 10 to begin with, and it went down to 5. He told me, he said, if I keep on losing weight, if I keep on doing the steady weight that I'm doing now, he could take me off of it permanently, which will be a pure blessing. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. And like I said, I give it all to God on this one, man. You know, God wants you to take the strides that you need to take to be better in your life for yourself and your family. That's what God wants you to do. Don't be scared about it. And here's the thing, weight loss is easier than you think it is. I know some people, oh, you got to go eat a healthy. No, not necessarily. I mean, you do, but it's easy. Trust me. And I'm going to give you some tips for you, for those of you who think about doing, like I said, but please consult your doctor before going on any weight loss diet journey. I implore you to do that first. You need to talk to your doctor anyway, you know, to see where you stand with your health. Um, but I am gonna give you couple of tips that work has worked for me. Um, I may do a side by side comparison. I've done that before on this channel. I haven't done it in a long time, so um, but maybe I'll wait until the next 10 pounds and I'll do it. But anyway, like I said before, it is easier to lose the weight than you think it is, and you can do it without even going to the gym. I've done that. The best way is for most people, you walk 30 to 35 minutes a day. And I'm talking about those of you who had the opportunity to do it for 5 days a week. I guarantee you will see some results. I did it for 2 days on a couple of weekends, and I saw the results. I'm not kidding. All right. But walking, especially if you do intense walking nonstop, you don't stop for 30, 35 minutes, believe me, you will feel the difference. My wife and I, about three, matter of fact, I would do it. Did I do it today? I even do it tomorrow. I hear on one of the local, over in Virginia, right? We walk on the bridge, right? And we walk out there to the other side to the hotel and back to my car. Okay. So we park over in Alexandria. We walk across the bridge. We go walk over to the harbor and back. It's 4 miles. The harbor's on the Maryland side. So we walk from one state across the bridge into the other state and back. 4 miles, roughly. And I assure you, and this is no joke. This is no joke at all. By the time we got back, And it was a good. It felt like the walk. There's no joke. The walk felt like it was about an hour and a half, but it wasn't. It was 30 minutes. That's 35. I was tired as hell because I could feel it. Every bone in my body was exhausted. I could feel it in my muscles. I could feel my legs. I could feel it in my arms. Because when you're walking, you work your entire body. Okay. And if you walk 30 35 minutes during that walk, it's intense because you're bouncing, you're going through, dips and hills, slight hills and stuff like that, different terrain. So you're getting a better workout sometimes you do just on the treadmill. Seriously. Treadmill is good for what it is in the gym, but when you're doing everything else around there. But when you go intense walking like that outdoors, it's the best type of exercise for you, especially if you're have a significant amount of weight. Trust me on that. Many doctors have said that. Even my boy Doctor Now on 600 Pound Life, who now got a new show called the $6,000 no, I'm sorry, the 6,000 pound diaries with Doctor Now, which is currently on Lifetime. Came out about a year ago. I didn't even know it. I just found that out recently on YouTube, by the way. But anyway, it's a pretty good show, and he focuses on people who are really serious about doing it. Not unlike 600 Pound Life. That's another story, cool story. But more on that another topic another time. But like I said, it's easier to lose the weight than you think. It truly is. I'm not joking. You can do it. Okay. Now this is my really like my second third go around. I remember when I first started on my weight loss journey, really, and this was after I got the army. I was in the army. I was like 263, 264. So I was really slightly underweight for my height. I found out, right? Slightly underweight, and I wasn't a big guy. I was actually smaller than I thought it was. I was 260. Sorry, I was 164 pounds when I joined the military. So I was really underweight. All those years, I never realized how much underweight I really was. You know, slightly underweight, but close to where I needed to be, but just underweight by about 11 pounds at the age of 21. You have some kids that were a little younger than me, was bigger than I was. Also, true story. But by the time I actually got out the military, I was over 200 pounds. So I gained like 40, almost 40, 45 pounds when I got out. By then, my BMI went up. It was about, I think it was about 20%, 17, 20%. And they told me it was low. I wasn't high. That wasn't true. And I was around I think 200, 205, something like that. And, but they did also told me my pressure went up a little bit, right? I was told that before I got out of the military, too. That's when I started really picking up the weight. The heaviest weight I've ever was at the time, many years later, was 283. And boy, you talking about somebody who's eating everything, and you could feel it when you're big. Or I'm gonna say big because it's the truth. You can feel it, right? And this probably was about 2015, something like that. And I finally lost the weight on my weight loss journey. I got down about 60 pounds, and then I gained it back after COVID, and now I'm down to where I'm at now. So, but I did it. And then one time before that, before I got to the 285, years earlier, I was working enough for someplace downtown, and I started using what they call the Hilton Head diet. And Hilton Head diet was a very simple diet, and I lost 25 pounds during that journey. You know, the book is a very good a book, and all you had to do is follow it. It was just simple weight loss that you could do that didn't take a lot, and you didn't even have to go to gym. Maybe do some walking or something, like that, but still. Anyway, so to make a long story short, about doctor's offices, went there, told me I lost a total of 19 pounds, which is good. Initially, I lost, I think 8 pounds, something like that, and then I lost another 9 pounds. Well, anyway, my increments of weight loss has been about average through every 3 months, 8 pounds. I know you're gonna say, well, that's not a lot of weight. You're right. It depends on how much you started in the weight loss camp in order to lose the weight you need to lose. Now, I'm over 200 pounds. Okay, well over 250. Right, and the thing of it is, if you're only 250 and my height being just under you know 5'10", which is around 5'9.5", according to what I was told, and other cases I was told 5'9". Right, so I'm not a very tall guy. I'm not a very short guy. But I'm not a very tall guy. I'm considered short if I was trying to play for the NBA. Let's put it like that. Here's the thing: if you weigh a certain amount of weight, because I used to watch 600 Pound Life and shows like that. People like that could lose 50 pounds within 2 months. If you have a certain amount of weight, if you're over a certain amount of weight, you could do that real easy because a lot of it is water retention. By me being under 300 pounds and just under 270 pounds, you're only going to lose but so much weight every few months. So, average, maybe we'll say maybe 3 pounds every couple of months or whatever, something like on average every month, or 2.5 pounds every month, which is not bad, you know. Ain't great, but not bad. But I would actually would I like to lose more? Yeah, of course. Sometimes you can't. The thing of it is, I'd rather get the weight loss I'm doing now, slow and steady, and people know I've been losing weight for the last couple few months, than to lose, 50 pounds every month, knowing I can't lose 50 pounds every month because my body is not structured to lose that kind of weight every month. You know, because my body's smaller than certain people who actually have more weight on them than I do, and it's been proven for those people who have that kind of weight, they can lose more weight by just losing the water retention that some people do have first, and it's quicker. You know, myself, I'm actually losing inches. I'm losing pounds, but it starts with inches first, then pounds later. I noticed that. And since I've been to the doctor, I've lost another 2 pounds. That's crazy. You know. Here's a funny thing. I have a scale. I have electronic scale and I have regular scale. The regular scale shows the actual weight loss, but electronic scale doesn't catch up till like about maybe a few weeks later, something like that. It's weird. And then when my doctor weighed me in on Tuesday, here's the crazy part. It was a 1 pound difference between where I weighed at home and where he weighed me at the doctor's office. And that's what clothes on at the doctor's office. You know, that's wild. So he's pretty accurate. It's scale. We have the same scale, same electronic scale at that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I'm actually able to lose more weight than I have in a long time. And by the grace of God, you know, I'm just doing it. I'm determined to do this. I'm actually not only determined to lose the weight and get back in shape, but to actually work on my core, which is your chest and your abs. You know, now I can get my arms in shape fairly easy. You know, because of the muscle tone that I already had. Potential, muscle that's already in there, and it's steady reps. That's not gonna take long. The chest also don't take long, but it's taking me a little longer because of course I got man boobs. By me having man boobs, yeah, that'll be the reason why it's going to take me a little longer. You know, and that's okay. You know, but anyway, but I'm losing the weight. Like I said, the pounds are dropping, baby. Again. And I'm cool with that. But for my doctor to get elated and as excited as I am, even more excited I was, is mind blowing. You know, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that for myself. You know, I'm proud that I have a doctor that really supports what I'm doing and cares about his patients. I've never had a doctor like that before in my entire life. So I thank God for him. I really do. You know, but like they said, faith without work is dead. I have the faith. The God's going to ensure that I do what I need to do. You know, through my belief in Him, and I just want to be able to continue to praise Him for what I've been blessed with. Something a lot of people don't have: family, home, no employment, you know, kids, you know, and all that. A lot of guys don't have that. I really feel blessed. But with the weight loss journey, you have to have the faith and the work. The combination is both. But like I said, this is easy. It's easier than to do than you think. All right. Some of it's going to take a little getting used to. Now, one of the things I do in the morning, all right, one of the things I do every morning is drink water. All right. Now, some people say don't drink water for about an hour. Some people say this, that, other. Put a little salt in your water. No. In a way, I guess I probably could do a pinch, but they were saying that that's where you cut down the cortisol. So you won't spike insulin. But I don't know how to would. I guess it's the electrolytes. You know, because they do make drinks like that. You know, now my wife did something that I probably should do more of. She kind of slightly dilute the drinks, the energy drink. It's not really an energy drink, but it's the they call athletic drink, like the I forgot the name of it. But anyway, so she kind of dilute hers, and that's cool. But she's lost more weight than I did, you know. But like I said, people of a certain size can lose weight a little bit, a little more weight uh, than you need to based on your size. So I didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose on one time like that, you know. And I'm fine with that, as long as I'm losing, as long as it's showing, and people have acknowledged it, you know. That alone shows that you're losing the weight. But like I said, in the morning for me, water, boiled egg for protein, an apple. I haven't ate an apple in the last few days because honestly, I hadn't been that hungry for breakfast. Um, I did buy a spinach, feta, and cheese wrap, which was a multigrain breakfast meal. It wasn't this meal, but all that and a black coffee from Starbucks yesterday because I in place of my egg, which I didn't boil any eggs yesterday either. So that's another story. But for lunch, in fact, oh yeah, I think I had lunch. Yeah, lunch the other day. I'm trying to think. Uh, honestly, I didn't. I didn't even eat lunch yesterday because the wrap itself was enough. That was all I had. It was multigrain wrap at that. black coffee. That's literally I had for the whole day, and water. That's all I had. I just wasn't hungry, you know. So of course, last night when I came home from the gym, uh, and I did a little work, I did more muscle training, and I could feel the difference. They have a machine there that work out your core and your abs like nothing I've ever used before. And I gotta get more into it. I might have to add more weights on it the next time I do it because it was kind of intense, and it really works your core, especially on on the slightly empty stomach. Oh my God, it's incredible. But anyway, uh, so after I came home, I had a mixture of uh, nuts with sea salt, which is good. It was almond. I think there was smoke. They might have been smokehouse almonds. I don't remember. I think there was almonds with sea salt on it, which is good because the little lightly salted sea salt that I needed to recover because that's recovery food. That's all it is really. And I mixed it up with some craisins, not a whole lot. Put cranberry raisins in there, for extra flavor, and put a little unsalted mixed nuts in there in a smaller bowl. Not a big bowl, but a small bowl. And then I ate a side of canned sardines with it. It wasn't oil, but I drained a lot of the oil out. I don't. I could have ate it with the oil in it, but I prefer in most cases not to. I drain some of the oil out. I don't need all that oil. I really don't. And guess what? Kept me regular. I'm gonna leave it at that. That same night, this morning I weighed in, lost another 2 pounds. Thank God. Yeah, that's kind of stuff I do. But usually, normally, it's a boiled egg in the morning, early in the morning, about 6 o'clock, and an apple and some water. I drink water in the morning before I wake up. Well, when I wake up too, I drank some matter of fact just a minute ago. But I also drink black coffee, no sugar, no creamer. Yeah, dark roast. Yep. I recommend the Starbucks 1971 roast grande. That does do it for me every time, and every time I do it, it detoxes me within an hour. It takes a little get used to drinking it without cream or sugar, but I can guarantee you, if you do it once a day, you only have to have 2 cups. You only need just 1 cup. You get a grind, 1 cup grande, dark roast, not medium, not blonde, dark roast. Guarantee you drink enough of it every day, once a day. That's all you need. You don't need it 3 times a day. Because if you're drinking the water, at least 1 to 2 bottles of water a day, which is I usually average about a bottle and a half, two bottles a day of water. All right, which is 32 ounces. All right. Some people probably drink more than that. I know people who exercise at the gym. The gym, old gym is going to a world gym. You had guys who solid muscle builders drink water by the gallons. And at one point, I was doing it too. I may start back, you know. But there's a couple places gyms that don't like you to bring all that water in there. That's another whole story. Maybe because they want you to buy theirs. But anyway, um, but it works. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice eating all that starchy food and processed food, McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger Kings. Guarantee you cut all it out, and you ought to cut it out anyway because the food is so damn expensive. Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, those places anymore, they're expensive as hell. You go, and this is what I do. I go to BJ's or I go to Amazon's, um, and I buy stock, salmon, and olive oil. All right. Some of you can do it in water, and that's fine too. And my wife was telling me she was BJ's. You can get them in all three: olive oil, water, and I think she said one more. I forgot. But anyway, and sardines. Omega 3. All right, omega 3 is good for you. It really is. You know, it has good fats in it involved with it, and it's light. And you can even eat the bone. The bone is just what they call what they call it calcium. You know, the bones are extremely chewable. So I eat the whole thing. I used to not do it for a long time. I wouldn't eat it. I eat the whole thing now. And sardines is good. It's delicious. It really is. It's a very delicious. I call it a dinner snack because I don't really eat dinner like that now. I get to a point now when I have a long day, you know, working, and you get to the gym, and by the time you come home, it's just like, hey, they do all that. Yep, I got salad in there now. I was like, I may do the salad today. If I don't eat anything, I'm trying to do because I didn't eat anything since last night, of course, which was the mixed nuts, the bowl of nuts, small bowls nuts with the sardines in it on the side. I'm gonna try to do a program what they call the 18. I think it's the 16, 18 diet, 18 diet, 18, 20. Wait, let's play this 16-8 rule. All right, 16 hours of not eating, and then the remaining 8 hours, which would be the OMAD, which is the one meal a day. You know, and now one doctor I saw, which I didn't understand, he said, "Well, don't eat anything until after do the 6 to 12 thing, and then between 12 to 6, which is be 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. eat your meal." But then the video, and he showed it in the graph. But then he said, "No, eat your meal, your breakfast, and progressively eat your lighter meal in the afternoon," which does make sense in a way. But the breakfast he recommended also in the graph said water, tea, or coffee. You know, which is what I used to do for the most part anyway. You know, and you were saying basically it'll help you with your weight loss journey, which I knew that anyway. But it's good to be able to, and here's the benefit of making a sacrifice because, like I said, for some of you it's going to be a real. For some of you, it's literally going to be a real sacrifice that you're going to have to make for your health. You know, some of us like the cream and sugar in our coffee. All right. Some of us like, to full eggs and toast and jam and all that. I like that too sometimes. All right. But when you're trying to get your health right, you're willing to make that sacrifice. You're willing to cut out all the sugars, all the breads, all the sodas, all the cookies, all the candies, all the cupcakes, pizzas and burgers and fries. You're willing to cut all of that out to sacrifice for you to have a better body. And then on top of that, when people start saying I look smaller, and I could get back in one 2X shirt that I used to wear that I couldn't wear for years, stuff I bought from Temu that I couldn't wear at all, t-shirts. Now they fit on me like it was nothing. I had 3X I couldn't even wear. You know, now it fits perfect. All because I took the time to lose the weight. All because I took the time to make the sacrifice. You know, sacrifice is a compromise, but it's also for me, it's a lifestyle change. I no longer want to call it a diet, and I've heard people on YouTube and on television say the same thing. Don't make it a diet. A diet is more like when you say a diet, it's like a fad. Everybody likes to get on the new fad diet, like the late great Dick Gregory. He started a diet down here many years ago out here in Dave. I forgot what they called it, and people jumped on that man left and right. You know,
But if you're doing them, and I'm not gonna say it's a yo-yo diet or not. I actually it's been a long time since I actually was on top of that. But the diet did work for some people. Not everybody stayed on it, you know. But it was a diet. Maybe not. Maybe it's assumed to be a fad for some people. I don't think I tried that diet. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But anyway, and they had different diets. You know how they had soup diet, and cabbage diet, and all that stuff. I'm talking about in general. Everybody, people were coming up with these different diet fads. Cookie diet, all kind of crazy stuff. That's why I don't go with diets. I go with lifestyle change. Your lifestyle change is eating the basic stuff that you need to eat every day. There's in a book. I don't know what I did with that book. I gotta find it. It's called. It's no joke. What would Jesus eat? And I read some of the book. Jesus didn't eat a lot of food. I mean, he did, but from what I read, he ate fig leaves. I mean, not fig. I'm sorry, not fig leaves. Figs and a fruit, and certain fruits and fish, of course. You know, from what I read out the book. Great book. I gotta find. I need to get back on that too because it was a whole meal plan in that book and talked about the philosophy of Jesus Christ. If I can't find it, I just reorder it because it was a good book. And that's a book that kind of motivated me. I got another book now. I need to read about dieting and exercise. I just haven't. I haven't had time. I just go out and do it. But for me, it is a lifestyle change. Okay, when you get to a certain age, you know, you want to be able to make the change to stay healthy for the rest of your life, and live out your life, fulfill it the way you want to, you know, and maintain your health, you know, and maintain your health for your kid, for yourself, your kids, or your grandkids. You know, that's the other reason I'm doing it. My grandkids motivated me to want to stay healthy, and not for no just a diet, but for a lifestyle change, to eat right. I'm willing to make the sacrifice to cut all the fats and sodiums and juices and sugars and all of that. Sugar, bread, and sodium, for the most part, are not your friends. Definitely not. Processed foods, same thing. You cut those out, you know, drink them water. And I do mean, for the most part, plain water, black coffee, dark roast, of course, you know, the minimal of breakfast, really there's protein latent, like an egg, you know, maybe a piece of turkey sausage. I mean, well, or really even leaner, turkey bacon. You know, um, if you and I prefer to microwave it because and like one of those little microwave plates that have the grill, the thing, the little grooves in it, they'll take some of that excess, you know, runoff away from it, fat. No more than about two, three slices of that. That's protein too. Lean proteins like fish, you know, fruits, certain fruits you shouldn't eat either. That's another story. Um, Definitely vegetables. I've been known to eat vegetables even at breakfast sometimes. You know, nothing to know about that either. The key is to eat healthy, folks. That's the main thing. The key is to get in that gym, do some serious workout intensity if you can. Strength training, I can honestly say, from my experience, uh, nothing wrong with cardio. You know, well, you can strength train, and I know people who do it, including myself and my old lady and other people. Help keep the weight off you. It builds muscle. You know, cardio. I would say you you don't have to be real intense with cardio. Um, and I'm talking about like on a treadmill. 30 to 40 minutes of treadmill, and I've done on the exercise bike 15 minutes. I didn't do. It's the only cardio I did yesterday. Well, actually, it was on the bike. It was on the sit down bike. I forget they call it. And ellipticals are really good too, because elliptical work out your entire body, including your core. I think I may do some of that today. I don't know. We'll see. But I do need to do some more strength training, intense strength training. You know, and walking. Those of you who can walk, do 30, 35 minutes a day. Take a bottle of water with you. Necessary. But don't guzzle it down as you walk in. Sip. If you need to sip, sip. Sip some, you know, as you walk. And not a whole lot. Just sip enough, to get you through the walk. And trust me, that alone, I can assure you, is a good enough workout to lose some weight. And it's intense and it will work your entire body. But you can do it. Even if it's slow and steady, you can do it. Let me know in the comment section how you've done. And like I said, I'm gonna say one more thing before I go. Once you start losing that weight, people are gonna start commenting you. They may not say, and for the most part, they won't say too much negative. Some people won't say anything, and there's a reason why some people won't say anything. I get that in a second, but the people who will say something, they will notice you, especially your closest of associates and friends. Like, wow, what did you do? Wow, you lost weight, you look good. I had a woman, one of our closest church friends last Sunday just stopped me. She says it almost every week now. You look good, blah blah blah. I said, I appreciate it, thank you. Just doing the right thing. That's what I tell them. I just stick to a plan, do it, and I'm gonna continue to do it. What motivated me, besides my doctor, of course, besides praying to God and believing and staying with my faith, is I was watching a video about 4 or 5 months ago of these guys. Some of them a couple of a little younger than I was in their 50s, guys in the 60s and 70s, and even one guy in his 80s, in great shape. And that blew me away. One guy said he had just started doing like a few years earlier. The guy in his 60s, I think he said, he started in his late 40s, early 50s, and kept going. I think it's like his mid 60s, and in better shape than me right now. I mean, cut like a rug. Real talk. I mean, phenomenal shape. I was like, if he can do it, I know damn well I can do it. At my age now. You know, especially for somebody who's done it before. You know. But the main thing is just stick with the plan. Enjoy doing it. Take your favorite music. You know, that's what I do. I got a playlist, of different songs out that I mix up, and it motivates me. In some cases, I'm even doing especially when I'm doing the cardio in the gym, I'm working out even faster. You know, there's so much to it. Stick to your weight loss journey. You can lose the weight, have fun with it. Like I say, if you can't, don't want you to do the gym. Do a 30-minute workout 5 days a week. Walking. You work your core. You work your legs, calves, arms, back, everything. Guarantee you feel it. I know last time I did something with my wife and I did that a few years ago, it wore us out. Thank me for it later. Love to hear from you. Love to hear your weight loss journeys and stuff. Come on with me. You know. Oh, that was the one thing I want to talk about. So I went to, and this is the very last thing I'm talking about. I went to a trainer about maybe about
5 months ago. Talked to him, and he was like,
out this way. He was basically saying, "Oh, you don't need Planet Fitness, blah blah blah." And then I wanted to sign up with him because I was gonna say he had, I think he had a special going on. But a couple things was wrong. Number one, I could sign with him right then and there. He told me to go online. But see, if I go online, he's gonna charge me a certain amount, you know. And and then on top of that, we'll add on different things. I was like, I ain't want to go through all that. I actually could have got it, but then he said that they started training at a certain time, and I know if I got there at a certain time, I'd be just trying to fight traffic to get there and all that. So nah, that's all right. And I thought about, it, I said, you know what? I don't need no trainer. Trainers are good for people who are, or who need that extra push to get through the workout. And sometimes trainers can motivate certain people better than regular people, like myself can. You know, because first of all, you paying for a trainer, so you ain't got a choice. You don't want to waste your money paying for a trainer you don't show up. But for me, and I have nothing against Planet Fitness. Actually, I love Planet Fitness. Um, I can go there anytime I want. Literally, actually, I may go today. You go there early enough, you can get on certain equipment that you normally don't ever get on, and that's also me, and I need to do it. I mean, what's tomorrow? I may just use this as a recovery day. I got other stuff I got to do anyway. Like I said, you go in anytime. Um, and it really is for the most part a judgment free zone. You can actually get a couple of friends together, somebody you might know that that actually is in better shape than you, whatever that you can get with, and maybe they can help give you some pointers. You know, I used to go in by myself. I've never had a trainer. I did work out when I was in the military a lot. I worked out every day. Matter of fact, when I was in the military, that's another whole story. Which is probably why I'm used to doing it on my own anyway. Um, that's been my third time, third, four really. I say third time for the most part. Doing a weight loss of my own without the help of a trainer. So I'm used to it. Um, Diet and exercise is a very important part of keeping yourself together, keeping your health in check. Because your body's a temple. And here's a motivation that I say will motivate you besides getting compliments from people, which is also a great motivator. When you are wearing 3X clothes and you start losing weight in inches and able to lose pounds, and you can put on that suit. I'm gonna tell you a quick story about that. Now, I said the training part, but I'm trying to go ahead and end this podcast. But I won't lie. When you find out you lost a whole size, in some cases, depending on my clothes, two sizes, and you put on that shirt, on them slacks, or that suit, or that T-shirt, and go to a smaller size. That's all the motivation you need. About 2 weeks ago, I had tried on a suit. I mean, I could always wear a suit, but for some reason, that day, and I hate to toot my own horn, well, not really, but that day, that suit really looked good on me, better than it ever did before. It didn't look like I was a guy in a suit that was 20 pounds heavier. I looked like a guy in a suit that looked good in a suit 20 pounds lighter. That's a good feeling. Trust me, it's a great feeling because I know that the work paid off. The sacrifice I had made to no longer eat the stuff that was hurting my body, that was causing me high blood pressure, risk of having heart disease and kidney failure and diabetes and all that. It's a good thing feeling to be able to lose that weight and people give you compliments, you know. And yeah, I mean, guys get complimented by other guys. Hey man, you know, you're doing great. Well, guys and women, you know, it's a good feeling. It is. When you got, yeah, and me being a guy, you got women turning their heads. This happened before. The first time I was one of the first times I lost weight, I got a lot of attention. You know, and that wasn't intentional. It just happened. They liked the way I look. I just had a girl a couple of days ago. Work. I'm going downstairs. She comes up the steps, looking fine too. You know. But anyway, what I'm saying is, you look better, you feel better, you're more confident. And that's the other thing. I feel more confident. I talk better. You know, I don't talk like I'm sort of like, no, it's none of that anymore. Not at all. And I haven't talked this long in a long time on the podcast, even live or not, in a very long time. Y'all notice that. So it's all good. I'm glad to be able to motivate you guys. And like I said before, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment on your own weight loss journey right through here on my podcast. I usually check back on my for comments and stuff anyway. So, but like I said before, if I can do it, you can do it. It's not as hard as you think once you get used to doing it. But I can promise you, within a month, when you start dropping them pounds, starting with inches and then pounds, you're gonna thank me later. Guarantee it. This is DJ Wolf Live. And I'm your host, DJ Wolf. More about my weight loss journey on the back burner, and hopefully this will be an inspiration to you all because you can definitely do it. That used to be my motto for my channel years ago before I even got on YouTube. You can do this, and you can. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. And there's pounds to be dropping. I'm out.